Good evening, folks, and welcome in. To another round of the Simverse.com LMU Pro Series. My name is John Wright, aka Double O Raven. I'll be taking you through, all of the action from tonight. It's the Circuit of the Americas for this evening. 60-minute race times to tyre wear at normal rate on the fuel consumption, so we'll see a few pit stops, I'm absolutely sure. No rain forecast for tonight's session, but it will be an interesting one. This is quite the track to get your head around. There we go. It is round number 6, of course. Fuji, Spa, Paul Ricard, Portimao, Imola, all in the rear view mirror. Bahrain and Monza to come in the following 2 weeks, but it is the circuit, 60 minutes of COTA, circuit of the track limits, that will be here for tonight. Of course, the prize is up for grabs, €500 for third place in the championship, €750 voucher, for the Simverse website for second, and €1,250 voucher from Thrustmaster again for the Simverse website. Last time out, it was Imola, and it was David Nastiasvili back to winning ways once again. Coinsel in second, and Koifel rounding out the podium ahead of Florence and Corbinian. Wendell getting a good 5th place. Bartop in 6th, Sudoric, Pastrana, Hoban in 9th, and Lamprecht rounding out the top 10 in the GT3s. 18 cars making it to the end of the race. Arda Erkan brought home the bacon in the hypercar. Sven Gielhud in second, Henrik Gamble rounding out the podium there. Ulrich and Kobe Chan 4th and 5th, with Mitchie Hoyer in 6th position. Marco Bischoff, Alex Siebel all inside the top 10 as well. And in fact, there we go. Yep, it was Bachmeier in 9th, and Gabor Por rounding out the top 10, just ahead of Tim Flake in 11th. There we go. So what's that done for the standings? Well, as we can see, it's Nicholas Holborn that is topping the tower at the moment, ahead of Coinsel and Koifel. Barto in 4th, and Rancano in 5th place, ahead of Nastiasvili, so he's going to need another big result this week. Melchart ahead of Eric Delfant in the standings. Ahead of Delfant, who's in 8th. Sasha Fritz is in 9th, with Marcin Giorovs in 10th, ahead of Ramone and Loinen. Max Florence in 13th, Sidoric down in 14th, and Manuel Fuchs rounding out the top 15 in the GT3s. In the hypercars, as you can see, quite a few drivers with points there. We'll only concentrate on the top 15 or so. In the hypercars, it's Sven Gielhud who is leading the way by less than 20 points, ahead of Erkan and Kobe Chan. Alex Siebel in 4th, Tim Flake in 5th, with Eduardo Alvarez in 6th position. Moritz Ulrichs in 7th, with Ethan Faulkner in 9th. Marco Bischoff and Franklin Wanaforo rounding out the top 10. Micah Petouche in 11th, with Cornier in 12th. Wittig in 13th, David Tepper in 14th, and Glenn Stromer in 15th position. The drivers will be out in qualifying very shortly indeed. Oh no, sorry, qualifying has just started. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Let's jump over. There we go. Panic station setting in. There we go, and the layout is working as well. Excellent. As you would expect, it's going to be very warm out there for the drivers. I will get some track info. So, yeah, we are getting up and running, and there we go. Perfect. So there is Erkan out for today. We've got Cedar out as well. Tobias Grunwald. It is lone qualifying, so the cars can't see each other, so we only get one car on track at a time. Grunwald going pretty quickly. Bachmeyer's out. We've got Zay out as well. Marek Partey making an appearance this evening. Mitchie Hoyer, Henrik Gamble, Sven Gielhood, and George Barr all out on track 15. There we go. Alvarez has just joined the session, so he's which is good to see. In the GT3s, Louis Bartos here for Black Nitro Racing. We've got David Rancano out once again in the Lamborghini. There is Nascadasvili, fresh from his win last week. We'll see what the Mercedes can do here in North America. Nicholas Hoban, another Lamborghini driver, Team Nitro of course. Very, very quick. That is Sasha Fritz out in the Porsche. Bessier is out as well, of course, behind the wheel of the Lexus. Eric Delfant is here this evening as well. In that beautiful blue and white McLaren. That's Fritz, we've seen. Going for the stealth black Ferrari. There is Koifel in the Porsche. It's been a standout so far. There is Sasha Wassner, another Mercedes pilot. Vindel, Panettone, Tobias Hoffer. 18 cars we've got out in the GT3s. A couple of Porsches as well, good to see. And there, as I say, is Pastrano, but that's time starting to come in for the hypercars and the GT3s, and it's Moritz Ulrich who is leading the way. Wow. Absolutely bouncing it over the curves. Absolutely wild. Yeah, so he's just gone and done himself a 54.233297 for Grunwald, so couldn't really be much closer between the two at the top of the hypercars. In the GT3s, it is Fuchs ahead of Hoban, sorry, at the moment. 2 minutes 6.7 and 2 minutes 6.8 for those two. Nascadasvili in third with a 207.240. So he is a couple of tenths behind. 3 times still to be set. Sorry, 4 times still to be set. Because we've got another Lucas Bachmeyer's joined the server as well. Nice. More cars on track. That's us up to 16 in the hypers. Beautiful camera angle coming into turn at number 1. That is going to be absolute chaos today. If anything goes awry for the hypercars into turn 1, it's going to make it very, very, very interesting. Indeed, for the GT3s. In fact, we'll get some onboard shots to see what it's like for both cars. Sorry, we'll have to flick through the cameras. Yes, right, let's go with this one. So already well over halfway through the lap here. Big heavy braking zone into the hairpin. Doesn't matter what type of car or how much aerodynamics you've got. you're bringing it to an absolute crawl around that hairpin. Oh, a lot of cars coming at the pits actually. Coming in to get fresh tyres as Nicholas Holman goes quicker in the GT3s. As I say, we'll jump on board with them in a moment. Another very, very, very tight hairpin to make their way through. It absolutely winds up the pace here to get into this double right-hander. Just a touch on that inside curve, and again, foot absolutely down for a brief few seconds. Heavy on the brakes, turn the car all the way to the left, an elongated hairpin to bring us into the final, or further into the final sector of the course. Another double of right-hander. In fact, sorry, the triple right-hander here, of course. Another hairpin. You can see just how much care the cars are taking. He's definitely avoiding the sausage curves on the inside, so not going any further than that in sector 3. Was certainly going beyond those limits in sector number 1, but that is Adrian Zay going across the line for Calet Racing. And you can see just how steep turn 1 is here. The weight distribution of the car all over the place. And around we go in the GT3s. Nicholas Holman has taken pole position. You can see a slightly different approach to the yellow sausage curves in the GT3 cars. They've got a fair bit less fear in these things than they do in the hypers. Let's see if we can get a good camera angle. Yeah, it's unfortunately not the easiest here, but you can see through the long S's. Oh, bouncing on the curb. So much harder for the cars to get the power down. In the GT3s as well, but Holman, he's doing the best of it so far. Yeah, 2:06.0, so 0.3 of a second he's got of a gap, so it really is piling on. Oh, one of his teammates, Tobias Grunwald, he's just taken pole position in the hypercars ahead of Arda Erkan. So yeah, a bit of a turnaround at the top in the hypercars. 6 minutes left to go. And again, you can see just how much of a difference between the hypercars and the GT3s from the onboard shots. What about acceleration through here? Heavy on the brakes, so deep into this corner. And then firing back out again. 6 to go, so about 3 laps left. And right on the inside of that curve, and once again, and ready to pile it down the hill. Use as much track as you possibly can on the left hand side and on the right. Miles away from the sausage curve on that one. Let's see what he does out of the last corner. Much like the first corner, not quite as uphill, but certainly does have that uphill feel to it. And we'll get a look here. See if Holman has gone quicker. I think that was a... yeah, that wasn't a flying lap, but again, have a look at turn number 1 in the GT3s. Oh, yep, you really do need to maximise that track. It's going to be fun. Lap 1. There is Team Nitro's Tobias Grunwald on the top spot, and in the pits, Erkan's joining him in the pits. Henrik Gamble, another Team Nitro driver. They're absolutely dominating here. They've got 3 of the top 6 starting positions over the 2 classes. And Gamble is not far off of Erkan, although Erkan is closer to Grunwald than Gamble is to Erkan. So it's certainly in Erkan's favour at the moment. We'll see what Gamble can do. Bisser is taking second, temporary second, but provisional second. There we go. That escaped me. Bisser, Fuchs in third. Eric Delfant in the McLaren up into 4th place. Lamborghini and Lexus dominating the top 3 spots. Then it's McLaren. Oh, and Rancano has just popped his Lambo up to 5th place. The Lambo is enjoying the course, that's for sure. Oh, and that's Vindel. He's just violated the track limits there. So this lap, unfortunately, won't count for him. Let me get rid of that. And yeah, let me know as well if that overlay is readable. It does look a bit small. Ah, there we go. Lots of buttons going on in the background. Right. Grunwald's still at the top spot. Erkan in second and Gamble in third. Oh, that is some extreme tyre warming going on. The track's at 46 degrees. So yeah, that is very warm out there. Only 2 minutes left to go. Grunwald. Just coming through the S's, so he's going to get this lap finished. He's got time for one more. Panettone and Alderissio are both in the pits. That could be... yeah, they're going to be done with qualifying. Glenn Stromer as well. His best starting position is going to be 13th. Adrian Zay and Patrick Bachmeier both in the pits as well. So a few cars in already, and at the moment, not really anyone improving on their lap time. Oops. Yeah, not really much improvements going on in the lap times out on track, so I don't think we're going to see much of a shuffle in the starting order from here, to be honest. This is Grunwald leading the way, and Erkan. Yeah, no improvement there either. So yeah, this might actually be our starting order. Maybe a couple of late changes, but yeah, I can't see anything overly exciting happening in the next few laps. Everyone going with a straight shot tyre strategy as well. No one mixing and matching, just straight up mediums. We'll see if that changes for the race. We've seen a few of the drivers over the season use a variety of compounds on the car. 3 mediums, 1 hard tyre, 2 mediums, 2 hard tyres to negate the tyre wear that we get at some of these tracks. And we're certainly going to get some around here, as I say, ×2 tyre wear. So it's effectively going to be an hour and 20 minutes the drivers are going to be doing on these tyres. So they will be coming in to change for a fresh set of boots at some point. I think the 50-50 mark is going to be the way to go. Still not seeing any improvements any place. Oh, now as I say that, Grunwald is just purple sector 1. Haha, right, okay. Grunwald's just purple sector 1. Arkan's gone quicker. Gamble is off the pace. Oh, and as well, sorry, Nicholas Holborn is absolutely lighting it up on this lap. He's looking to extend his lead further. He's currently got 3/10 over front row companion Marin Bessier. He's coming around the last corner. That's 2 purple sectors, and he does 2:05.7, and he was slow in sector 3. Absolutely wild. That was his slowest sector 3 time that he's recorded. He's made that lap up in sector 1 and 2 there. 2:05.7 to go 6/10 quicker. And Erkan takes the top spot as they're on board. Oh no, sorry, Grunwald is taking it straight back again. Jumped very quickly. Erkan back to the pits. Grunwald out on track. He'll be back in the pits in a moment. I think that's everybody. Yeah, that seems to be everybody in the pits. So let's jump back here and we're going to look at the qualifying results in a moment. But yeah, survived the late scare there, did Tobias Grunwald to take the top spot. 52.349. Enough to fend off Erkan with his 52.571. So 6/10 between first and second, 3/10 between second and third. Let's turn that off. Perfect. Sorry, some audio issues as well now. Excellent timing. There we go, confirmation then of the qualifying order as we saw Grunwald, sorry, ahead of Erkan and Gamble, Geelhood and Ulrich ahead of Siebel and Cedar, Partey and Mitchie Hoyer in 9th, Bachmeier in 10th, Tim Flagg in 10th position. The cars are gridding up. 11th place. Sorry, Bachmeier was 10th. It was Tim Flagg in 11th. Adrian Zay in 12th position. George Barr in 13th. Glenn Stromer in 14th. Alvarez in 15th. And Lucas Bachmeier in 16th position in the hypercars. In the GT3s, it's Nicholas Holborn that's taken pole position ahead of Besser. Manuel Fuchs in 3rd. Eric Delfant in 4th position. Corbinian Vindel, after a good result last week, gets 5th in qualifying this week. David Naskadashvili in 6th. David Rancano going to start in 7th position ahead of Louis Barto and Adrian Pastrana in 9th place. Joseph Koifer is going to start in 10th position. Sasha Wassner in 11th. And that's Michael Herman Frey starting in 12th place. Panatore starting in 13th ahead of Aldesario in 14th. Tobias Hofer starting in 15th. Sasha Fritz in 16th. Sasha Lamprecht in 17th. And Olivier McCallach starting in 18th position. And there is the engines up and running in the GT3s. So yeah, 16 and 18 cars out for tonight's race. That is a whole lot of points that are going to be up for grabs. Got a short run to the start. Let's see if we can't get the helicam. Easier said than done. Oh, now. No, that seems to be a bit too... Okay, we'll go with that. Some interesting tyre choices as well. I know you can't see it on screen. Arda Erkan is on medium tyres. One of only 3 cars to be on full mediums. In the hypercars, the entire GT3 field is on medium tyres. Sven Geelhood has only got 1 medium, but there's the green lights and we are already away, and Bachmeier is starting from the pits. So Bachmeier is starting from the pits and they're absolutely tearing their way up into turn number 1. You can see they're going to go potentially 4 wide in the background, certainly 3 wide for the lead of the race. Tobias Grunwald hangs on to this one. It looks like Arda Erkan has lost himself a position, so the medium tyres not paying off at the start for Erkan, and Henrik Gamble is joining his Team Nitro teammate up in the front 2 rows. It's as you were certainly in the GT3s, with Nicholas Holborn leading the way in and out with turn number 1, Fuchs in 2nd. But oh no, Besser is down to 3rd place. Manuel Fuchs has got himself up to 2nd place. David Naskadashvili once again pulling first lap wonders with another 2 spots taken in the opening exchanges to see him go up to 4th position. Tobias Grunwald is now being joined by Arda Erkan on the front row, because while we were looking at the GT3s, there's been an overtake again on the podium, and we're maybe about to see a reply to that as Gamble positions the car confidently up the inside line. He's going to have to be good on the brakes. He gets very close to his teammate, in fact. They go side by side through turn number 9. Out on the outside is Erkan. Not a lot of grip out there. He's managed to make it stick. He squeezes Gamble as far over as he can. The two of them just a little bit of door rubbing on the way through. It's Erkan who's made a good way through those few corners there and has managed to fend off Gamble and close the gap to Grunwald ahead of him. So yeah, that is job done for Arda Erkan to fight back and take that second place. Not ideal to lose it in the first place, but he's come straight back. Lucas Cedar has made up 2 places since the start of the race, and Mitchie Hoyer, was there an absolutely flying lap with Alex Seaball just behind him, flying off the track there. But Hoyer, another driver with a good start. That's 3 places he's made up, so he won't be too dissatisfied with that, I don't think. Hopefully we're getting some game volume, so I'm just trying to balance it out. Manuel Fuchs takes the fastest opening lap in the GT3s as he's rocketed past Besser and is really threatening to leave a bit of a gap there now. It's half a second, although as I say that, Besser comes straight back at him. Absolutely piling in. Right, let's see what Erkan can do on the medium tyre. It does seem to be a bit of a bold call, given that almost the entire field. Oh, and he's absolutely going for it already. He's got so much more grip, and look how much more grip he's got. That is absolutely outrageous. That's almost like 2 different classes racing there. Arda Erkan sends it up the inside of 8. He's now got the slipstream headache heading down into turn number 9. He takes the inside line, which is interesting for me. I know he's got more grip on those tyres, but I would have taken the faster line. Well, yeah, just goes to show he knows exactly what he's doing. He has held on to that position, and Erkan out in the lead of the race. Grunwald second, Gamble in third, or is he? Here comes Sven Gielhud, pops one up the inside. It's a good start to the race for Cadillac. Sorry, is that Henrik Gamble? Yeah, sorry, my apologies. Yes, that is Sven Gielhud. Oh no, Gielhud in the Alpine. There's Erkan. There's Grunwald. There's Gamble. Oh, and he's going for up the inside. He absolutely sends it on the brake and spins it round the other way, and he is going to tumble down the order, and that is Sven Gielhud, who's absolutely overcooked it on the way in. That is not what he needed in that Alpine, and that is going to be very costly indeed. 10th position. Oh wow, that is a painful one there. In the GT3s, Nicholas Holbein is already leading the way by 1.1 seconds over Manuel Fuchs. Fuchs not got quite such a big gap back to Gamble, only 0.8 of a second there. Cedar and Mitchie Hoyer very close indeed. Hoyer has already taken 3 places so far. Sorry, I'm looking at the hypercars, getting myself all over the place. Johnny C in the chat, yeah, absolutely sent it way too hard. Yeah, went full Sendosaurus and couldn't quite stick the landing. Let's look at the actual GT3s. Holbein leading the way. There he is ahead of Fuchs and Bessier. In third place, Naskadasvili in 4th position after making up 2 at the start. Pastrana unfortunately involved in an incident on lap number 2, and that's seen his car tumble down the order. He's gone from 9th down to 18th. Biggest drop in the race, although Bachmeier, oh no, he's running where he started, of course. He started in the pits. Eric Delfante is currently running in 5th position, down 1 to Naskadasvili. Rancano is up a spot. He's got Corbini and Vendel behind him. Vendel's lost 2 positions in his Porsche, so we'll see if we can make any of them back. They're starting to stretch out right at the front of the hypercars, but certainly Lucas Cedar is looking to keep it close. He's looking to keep it close to the track as well, the way that suspension travelled through that corner. Look at the way they just throw those cars about. Absolutely wild. There we go, got some working mirrors now. You can see just how close they're getting through here and just how close he's getting to those track limits. Bouncing off those sausage curves on their way through the first few corners. And heading down into 9. We've got a track temperature of 49 degrees as well. Erkan's tyres are going to be absolutely cooking by the time we get to the halfway mark. Has he played a blinder? Are we going to see some of the other drivers try and go for a no-stopper, or at least stop as late as possible? It's certainly on the cars. Tim Flake, he's only taken a hard tyre on the front left, and Moritz Ulrichs has taken a medium tyre on the front right. Siebel, who is currently chasing Cedar, who we're on board with, his front tyres are hard and his rear tyres are medium. So an interesting mix between the drivers and what they've taken. We've already seen this before this season. Oh, bless me, apologies. Yeah, so the mixing tyres, we'll see how they got on with that. Erkan, as I say, on the full mediums, he's now 1.6 seconds ahead, so certainly at this phase of the race starting to go the way he would hope it would go, which is stretch a very big gap over the drivers on the hard tyres. We've got a solid battle going on here at the moment. Besser and Fuchs, and they are being joined by Nascadasvili. He knows how to win races here, and he's got 2 positions, 2 podium positions no less, directly in front of him as Nicholas Holborn is absolutely... Oh no, sorry. Yes, he is, 1.9 seconds. Holborn absolutely ghosting him. Oh, he's gone for it. The Lexus up the inside into turn number 1. Has yet braked himself. He's not been a Lamborghini. He's going to go for the cutback on the exit. He saw that one coming, but the Lexus plants himself on that inside line perfectly and gets that job done. Besser back up to second place. Manuel Fuchs back into third. Nascadasvili with the best seat in the house to watch this one. So let's jump on board. Let's see what the onboard cameras are like in the Merc. Unfortunately, we do have to flick through them. I wonder if the mirrors work if you do it now. Excellent. So there we go, on board with Nascadasvili, and that's Eric Delfant behind him. Look how close he gets under braking into the hairpin. The Lamborghini and the Mercedes slightly different braking points there, and this could be something that Nascadasvili could really use to his advantage around this course. There are some long straights, but there are, as we've seen, some very, very, very tight hairpins for the driver to get through. He's having a think about it here, sends it from way downtown, not close enough though, as the Lamborghini over defended, over brake. Bit of door banging on the way out. Oh, a bit of bumper to bumper on the way through as well. They're now back to the door bang. Lamborghini tries to fend them off. The Merc goes right up the inside looking for the cutback. Has he made this one stick through turn 17? Around the outside he tries to go. Not happening. Eric Delfant cannot believe his luck right now. Look how close he's now got to this battle. Yeah, that is not where he expected to be, given how close, how far away he was, sorry. I don't think he expected to be this close by the end of the lap. But he is absolutely in the thick of things now. Oh, the Mercedes, he's going for the inside line. Oh, and they've made big contact again. That's put the Lamborghini off track. That could well be a penalty. We'll let the stewards decide on that, but let's watch and see if Delfant can make hay while the sun is absolutely blistering the tarmac off the tyres. It is cosy out there, and it's getting hot in this battle as well. Holborn 2.3 seconds ahead of Besser, who himself is 2.3 seconds ahead of this battle that we see here. So this is playing right into the top two's hands here in the GT3's Rancano and Vendel are right on the back of Delphant as well. In fact, if we jump on to Vendel, you can see where he is in relation to this battle. And in fact, they're that close you can't even see Delphant at some points. And then they've got a solid train of 4 directly behind them. Bartow, Koifel and Herman Fry. Sasha Wassner involved in that one as well. That could be quite a little battle brewing there. Sasha Wassner in the Mercedes, not the best on board. He is in 11th position where he started. That is 4 solid cars directly in front of him. Rancano will stay with Delphant. He seems to be planted pretty much in the middle of this group, so we'll get an eye. Keep an eye from his point of view. Still as you were up in the hypercars, Erkan from Greenwald, from Gamble in 3rd, Siebel still holding on to 4th place. In fact, Mitchie Hoyer, has made up another position. He's got himself up to 5th place. So a good start for his Alpine. Sven Gielhud back up to 7th position. So a good recovery drive there. Let's see what the GT3s have got up their sleeve. In fact, if we go to Naskidasvili, get some rear spoiler shots and see how they're getting on here in turn number 1. The rest of the cars absolutely disappear. And down the hill we go, almost like Interlagos. Just not quite the full twist to the left on the way out. It's a bit more subtle than that. And then the S's are really unsubtle as you make your way through. Ooh, and that was a bit of a wiggle there. Manuel Fuchs almost losing the back of that car. He's lost a bit of time to the cars around him there. Yeah, you can see. We can almost see the front bumper over, the front bumper of Fuchs over the rear spoiler of Naskidasvili. At the moment it's pretty much concealed by it. Oh, he's right on those curves as well. Still tailing their way through. We're already 14 minutes in. Remember, we've got ×2 tyre wear, so it's going to be pretty extreme for the drivers. 49.1 we're up to as far as track temperature goes, so it is slowly but surely sneaking his way up as the race goes on as well. These are the battles that we've got going on at the moment. That was close. So it is still the Mercedes of Naskidasvili who's had a solid start to get himself up onto the podium ahead of this battle. You can see Delphant still trying to find his way past Manuel Fuchs if he can, up at the front of the hypercar. Sven Gielhud, who is charging his way back through the field. He is looking to get himself back up to 6th position. It's Lucas Cedar that he's got ahead of him. Cedar was up 2 spots. Mitchie Hoyer took one of those and has separated him from the battle he was having with Alex Siebel. And they've got one of, BMW from down at the back of the field in the GT3s. That'll be McCalla. It is indeed. So yeah, Gielhud, as I say, looking to get back up towards the top 5. He started in 4th place. He's got some very, very, very good pace around the course at the moment. He is keeping Cedar on his toes. Oh, he's not quite got close enough there at the turn number 1. It certainly looked like he was. Back to the battle in the GT3s. It's still the final podium position that is in contention. It's Naskidasvili has got it at the moment, but Manuel Fuchs, Eric Delphant, David Rancano and Corbinian Vendel certainly throwing their hats in the ring to take that position, and Lee Bartow might be about to take a position as well. In fact, Joseph Koifel, he's in one of the Iron Dames Porsches. Beautiful camera angle. And are they going to be able to use the multicast traffic? Bartow is on the outside line, and that is nicely done in the Porsche. Joseph Koifel slides that back up in the 10th position, although they're absolutely side by side. Sasha Wassner has managed to get past both of them and leave the two of them battling away. And it is Bartow. Bartow's managed to get back ahead of Koifel. So the straight road, Koifel's going to go full send up the inside. Has he made this one stick? Look how much grip that Porsche has got through the twisty stuff, and that is Koifel, who does swap positions again with Barto, and Barto gets back ahead. Oh, they've got a hypercar on the inside. It's all kinds of chaos. Koifel backing right out of that one. Yeah, didn't want to get too involved as the Alpine came through there. I believe that is Gielhood that's just come through. That would have put quite the stop to his charge through the field. Barto unfazed by that. I tell you, Koifel, particularly brave moment there, but he did survive. Sasha Wassner has got himself up 2 spots. He was running solidly in 11th behind 4 cars. He's now got past 2 of them, but Herman Fry has made good his escape. He's now 2.3 seconds behind the battle which we keep going back to, and that is David Nascadashvili and Manuel Fuchs battling away for the final podium position. Here comes the hypercars coming through. Oh, now Arda Erkan, the gap there has dropped. 18 minutes in, I wonder. So that's effectively going to be about 36 minutes worth of tyre wear that he's experienced at the moment. So I wonder if they're dropping off or if Erkan is just struggling to make his way through the traffic he's got. One more car to get past. That is going to be Nicholas Holben, class leader. There is the GT3 driver there. So no problems whatsoever for Erkan getting past there, but that gap was certainly trending towards the 2-second mark, and it's now down to 1.1 seconds. So yeah, we'll find that out if that is traffic, if it was traffic related pretty soon. We'll keep an eye on the gap. We'll also keep an eye on this podium position as Manuel Fuchs goes side by side with Nascadashvili. Nascadashvili and Fuchs are battling away. Fuchs trying to get the position, Bensier holding on firmly to second place. Nascadashvili not got much of a firm grip at the moment as Manuel Fuchs is getting fired right in there as we've got some the hypercars making their way through. Oh, he's popped up the inside there. That does make it awkward. They're going to have to go 3 wide as the hypercar goes round the outside, and Manuel Fuchs does use the traffic absolutely perfectly and gets the drop on David Nascadashvili and gets his way back up to 3rd position. So the top 3 in the GT3s all running where they started. Nascadashvili still in a net gain position at the moment. But it'll seem that little less sweeter. Oh, is he going to try for it? Up the inside into turn number 1. Really gets onto those curves on the inside. We can see that blue marker there. So, yeah, there's a hypercar coming around his outside. Not going to weave across. Oh, no, he's not quite going to get through there, through the S's. Oh, and I tell you what, Manuel Fuchs absolutely all over the place. He is completely at sea through the S's there. The Lambo, he had the easy job. No hypercars were on him when he made that mistake. Nascadashvili has held his ground. Oh, and he's held his position, and that Lamborghini really struggling on this lap as a hypercar comes through, and Nascadashvili's got the run down the hill. Is he going to make this one stick? He's gone up the inside. No, he's not. He's dropped back in as there is a multitude of hypercars making their way through, and it is just in the favour of Manuel Fuchs at the moment, or is it all in the favour of Eric Delphine? He's been brought right back into this battle. He's got a front row seat to what's going on. Let's see what the two ahead of him do. He's got a clear line. He's going to send up the inside himself. He showed the outside line. He's taking the inside, and he's got the position. He's got the real estate there. He's not quite taking the position, but he certainly had the real estate to challenge for it. Nascadashvili now in all kinds of trouble. He got himself up to 3rd. He's now fighting to hold on to 4th place. Delphine right in the hunt here. Rancano and Vindel. And Herman Fry. Herman Fry's caught up to this battle as well in his Porsche. In fact, if we jump on with him in 8th place, there's the battle we're just watching as the rest of the hypercars make their way through. Erkan, the gap between the top 2 and the hypers is only sitting at 1 second. So I think that Erkan's tyres are already dropping off a cliff. Yep, Grunwald is absolutely closing in. The last lap for the two of them, 55.1 for Erkan, 54.6 for Tobias Grunwald. That is not the type of thing that Erkan wants to see. Let's see what's going on still with the GT3s. Manuel Fuchs still holding on to that position tenuously at the moment, but just as tenuously, Nascadashvili holding it on to fourth once again. He's back into fourth, and Del Plant is very much back into focus as he is within 4 tenths. You can see Rancano and Wendell still right on. Still right in the hunt there as well. We've still got 16 cars out. Oh no, sorry, 15. Alvarez is back in the garage. Stromer bringing up the rear of the field. And yeah, still all 18 of the GT3s out and running. So it's all about the pit stops now. 36 minutes left to go. Of course, the halfway mark could be a good shout. Alex Siebel closing in on Henrik Gamble. Yeah, Galehood running well also on that previous lap, but Siebel a couple of tenths quicker per lap over the last 3 laps versus Gamble, so this is going to be one to watch pretty soon as well. Sorry if we are getting a bit of stuttering on the stream, not sure where that's coming from. But we shall get maybe the heat of the track. Oh, although the track has come down marginally, 48.9. It is starting to descend. That could make it a bit easier for some of the drivers. We shall see. Nascadashvili, we'll be hoping it gets a bit easier as well. Good race win last week. To really work wonders for him in the championship. So we'll see what he can do this week. He's already had dipped his toe into the podium positions. If he can't get the overtake here, we'll see what he does through the pit stop phases. It's going to be an interesting one, especially with the different fuel usage of the cars. Although the GT3s seeming fairly well matched at the moment. Herman Fry in the Porsche certainly been heavy on the loud pedal to keep up with the cars ahead. Rancano as well. Those two use more fuel in the GT3s than anyone else. Along the back straight we go into turn number 9, and it's a good exit once again by Manuel Fuchs. He's going to keep Nascadashvili safely at arm's length. So too likewise Nascadashvili to Delphant. So the very close battle between them. Right, looking to spread out for the moment. They'll be waiting to see if anyone makes a mistake. That'll be the big hope now. That could come down to fine margins or track limit. Certainly fine margins and track limits between these two. Let's get some cockpit view. There we go. Nice clear track behind them. So Grunwald, he's actually got an Alpine. I believe that's Adrian Zay. Oh no, he's in a Calic car. I can't see the number on the car ahead of Grunwald, but that is not for position. It's actually the car ahead of him. Are the Erkan. Oh no, sorry, the car ahead, directly ahead of him is Erkan. It's the car ahead of Erkan that is the blue flag, my apologies. So yeah, the top two have got themselves a same class blue flag car who pops himself out onto the gravel to let the race leader through, so he'll be out of the way very quickly indeed. There we go. Very quickly indeed to let Grunwald through this gap now down to 6/10 of a second. That's the closest it's been since lap number 2. It was stretching in the favour of Erkan. Now Grunwald really got the bit between his teeth. And those medium tyres for Erkan don't seem to be paying off at the moment. We'll see what he does in the pit stop. And the battle in the GT3s, I believe. Yeah, still very much as you were between those three. There is Erkan leading the way. There is Nicholas Holborn, in fact. We have hardly seen Nicholas. He's actually dropped down to a 208.2. I'll say dropped. His fastest lap, the 207.8. He's not really been half a second more. No slower than half a second slower than his fastest time. So he's absolutely smashing on with the consistency once again. That's yeah, no real surprise that he wins as many races as he does by the gap that he does. 2.2 seconds it is at the moment. Let's see what's going on here then. Manuel Fuchs looking like he's breaking away from this little group now. He is now up to a second ahead of Nascadasvili. He's 11 seconds behind Bessier and Holborn. So the Lambo and the Lexus ahead really are absolutely tearing away from these this group behind them. Fuchs, Nascadasvili, Delphant, Rancano and Herman Frey. The main protagonists in this battle, but Fuchs is looking to get himself out with it. Yeah, that second gap is going to pay wonders for him. Oh, bottoming out the McLaren once again, as you will often do around this course. Still no sign of anyone coming in to the pits. Well, apart from the one retirement, certainly no one coming in for a pit stop at the moment. But we are getting close to that halfway mark. The drivers on the hard tyres, I think, are going to be able to stay out the longest. Oh, now that looks like side by side. Is that Herman Frey? Is getting the job done on Rancano. Rancano coming straight back at him though. He's trying to fight it down the inside along the long straight. He should have the legs in the Lamborghini to hold, take this one back again. They're absolutely side by side. The Porsche we've seen very nimble through this corner. But the Lambo, yeah, gets himself in front. Rancano doing well. Nope, he's gone straight back for the exit. Going straight for the inside. Yeah, so much more grip for the Porsches through these corners. And he's made that one stick very well indeed. Michael Herman Frey on an absolute charge in his Porsche. He's up 6 positions on where he started. That is not too shabby a showing at all. We'll see how far he can get before the end of the race. With all the battling going on ahead of him, I certainly wouldn't be overly keen on betting against them taking a few more positions. Game volumes are very loud this evening. Let's see, I'll tell you what else is very loud. Grunwald's engine for Arda Erkan. There is Grunwald there. He's absolutely in the hunt for this. Nope, almost got himself some got himself a cheeky little Porsche wing there. Oh, let's see what Tim Flake's got going on in the Aston Martin. We've seen the Aston Martins do well at some courses. Clearly COTA, not a car that suits the Martin this time out. Flake though, he has made up a spot on where he started. He's got Partey ahead of him. Partey down to 9th place after being overtaken by Bachmeier. He's had a good start, but Flake, as I say, he is looking very quick at the moment. So compact inside those cockpits. I would get claustrophobic, I think. Flake and Ulrich behind them. Two of the drivers that went for the 3-to-1 ratio on the tyres. Flake went 3 medium, 1 hard. Ulrich went 3 hard, 1 medium. There's 1.5 seconds between them. Partey ahead of Flake is on all hard tyres. So you would think he's going to have a bit more rubber on the rims, as we are 32 minutes into this one. Alvarez went all rubber, and I believe... Oh no, Alvarez is still in the pits. He's not come back out again. One correction though, sorry. Glenn Stromer has been into the pit, so that's why we saw him getting lapped by the top two. He was the Carlett Racing car that was involved there. And in the GT3s, Lamprecht has been in as well. I've had one car from each class come in and take a pit stop. Erkan is fighting back Grunwald's pace here. He's got that gap back up to 1.2 seconds, so he's over doubled it. Siebel is looking like he has got his car absolutely firing on point. I'm looking forward to building the Lego one of them very soon, in fact. But Siebel, where is he? 0.3 of a second behind Henry Gamble. Is this the point? No, it's not. Gamble's not going to lose it on this one. The Cadillac pulling him into turn number one very impressively there. And Gail Hood only just managing to match him. Given some of these fuel levels, some of the drivers will have been close to being able to do a no stopper. I wouldn't be overly surprised if we see someone trying that. I do think... Oh, and that's big contact as I was looking away there. My apologies, I've looked away. And there's yellow flags flying every place. Gilhood has just gone through. That's Alex Siebel has just made contact with Henrik Gamble. Gamble firing back through, but that is Siebel who's ended up dropping a position. Gilhood's made up a position there. Siebel's managed to hang on to 5th place. Mitchie Hoyer now comes firmly flying into the picture for 5th position. He was a fair bit down, and I tell you what, that's brought him firing right back, and that gap is closing as we head along this straightaway into the braking zone. This is going to be interestingly close between these two. He gets it down to half a second as he jams on the anchors. On the exit is back up to 0.8 of a second. That is not what Siebel was looking for, but yeah, Henrik Gamble and Alex Siebel making contact. Oh, Manuel Fuchs has lost himself a bit of time as well. So yeah, he's just on another bit of a bump as well. So not running well for Fuchs at the moment either. Wow, okay, so Delphant now 8 tenths down. That's Gazvili's 14 seconds down on Becerre, so that is really spreading out with the top of the GT3s. Although Henrik Gamble in the same boat after that contact, he now finds himself at 10 seconds down on the top two. And I'll tell you what, Arda Erkan is absolutely lighting it up at the moment. Now I'm not sure if he's found pace or Grunwald's lost it. Oh, Grunwald's lost it. Has Grunwald has an incident? Question? I don't know. He's maybe got caught up in traffic, but certainly that gap now back to 2.3 seconds. So yeah, any woes that I was wailing about the pace of Erkan, Grunwald has given him a 2-second gift there. He's just on a 57.288. Almost 2 seconds slower than Erkan, and we can see that reflected in the difference between them, 2.4. The distance between them out on track, and Herman Frey looks like he's got another position here. The Porsche is absolutely flying at the hands of Frey. Michael Frey is usually our Porsche specialist, and it's the same corner once again. Look at the grip he's got through there. He is wringing the neck out with these tyres. As we can see, one of the hypercars going round the outside. It's a 3-wide manoeuvre, and that is how you use the traffic. Herman Frey, what a manoeuvre that was. Absolutely outstanding overtake. We do have some new software we've been using that allows replays. Unfortunately, I've had some issues. We can't get another look at that, but what a move by Michael Herman Frey. He's got himself up to 4th position. from 11th, and he's only 1.3 behind Nascadashvili. Dare we dream is a podium on for Herman Frey in the Porsche. 11th in qualifying and currently running in 4th place overall. His best lap of the race so far is a 208.740. He's just done a 209.7, so the pace is definitely dropping off the cars at the minute. They're about a second down on their opening lap times. The cars are getting lighter, but there's a lot less rubber on those rims, and that is certainly playing out on track. So he's been close. He's been within 2/10 of Hogan's fastest lap, although Besser and Nascadashvili have both managed. Oh no, my apologies. He's been within a 10th. Yeah, he's been within a 10th, sorry, of the fastest lap of the race in the GT3. So absolutely no slouch. I'm going to keep an eye on his lap times and see how he gets on until, does he come into pits? 35% left of his fuel with 22 minutes left to go. That is going to be close. Let me just triple check and confirm. Confirming no mandatory pit stops, so yeah, the no stopper's definitely on. Yeah, Erkan, he'll be pulling off a miracle if he gets on medium tyres, and that's what he's managing to do. We're well over the halfway mark. It is Erkan leading the way in the Hypers, Tobias Grunwald in second, Heinrich Gamble in third place. He's got 3 seconds almost back to Gielhood in fourth. In the GT3s, just up the track, so right in the mix with the hypercar podium runners. Nicholas Hoban, top spot in the GT3s ahead of Besser and Nascadashvili in third place. He has got Herman Frey still 1.3 seconds behind. Nascadashvili actually picking up a track limit warning on the previous. Can't afford too many more of those. Herman Frey is on an absolute charge. Definitely going through the go-go juice. Which is might be a bit of an issue on the last lap, we shall see. Oh no, 30% left. Well, 78%, yeah, he's maybe a bit close. He maybe needs another 5% fuel or a bit of fuel saving. This is going to be close for Frey when he gets to the end. The gap in the hypercars has swung the other way again. We're back down to 0.8 of a second. It seems that Erkan is having much better luck through the traffic than Grunwald is. Grunwald is really struggling, but as soon as he gets released, he gets released. And he is absolutely... Oh, big wiggle there. Oh, and he's almost collected himself a back marker in the GT3s. He does survive. Ooh, bit of contact there with the Lexus for the hypercar leader, and a bit of a wiggle for Grunwald just to let him off the hook there. That one almost balancing itself out. Half a second now between these two. We've been racing for 42 minutes and they're still and they're once again, inseparable up at the front in the GT3s. It is a slightly different story, although Herman Frey, we're going to have to jump on board there. He's absolutely destroyed the gap between himself and Nascadashvili, and he is fully in the hunt to get himself onto the podium. Those podium dreams are certainly alive and well. It's all about managing the fuel. He's got just over a quarter of the race to go, and he's got just over a quarter of a tank of fuel left. He's got this one absolutely nailed on if he can bring this home. I mean, that's a very good result anyway, but a podium here, that would be absolutely incredible. 8 spots it would be if he could bring this home. Grunwald is all over the back of Erkan. Those medium tyres have effectively done over 18 minutes of racing with the ×2 tyre wear that we've got on. And, well, I mean, they've both obviously gone through the same amount of tyre wear, but Grunwald started on the hard tyres. He's going to have a lot more compound left than Erkan is. Is it better to have a worn set of mediums or a fresher set of hards? At the moment, you would say the hard tyres are looking like the better choice. He just needs to make that overtake stick though, if he can get close enough. Hoban, no fears for overtakes for him. He just needs to keep it between the Mayo and the Mustard, and he's bringing home another race win here in the series. This is going to do him an absolute world of good in the stand-ins. Wow, love that camera angle. The main movers, of course, still Mitchie Hoyer. He's up 3 places in the hypercars. Patrick Bachmeier, sorry, he's up 2 spots on where he started, so not huge changes there. Morris Ulrich did drop 5 from where he started as he drops the car on off the track, getting himself involved in some interesting battles there with Mirak Partey. Nastas Vili and Herman Frey up 3 and 7 positions, and Alderisio up 2 spots on where he started in his Ferrari. He's in the jet black Ferrari. Pastrano down 4 behind him. That's Panettone, sorry. Sasha Waster got himself involved in something. He's back in the pits. He's DNF. Migolak now 17th place and bringing up the rear of the on-track drivers. Wassner out of the race. Grunwald and Erkan 4/10 separating then. Herman Frey all over the back. He's gone for it up the inside again, and he's absolutely made this one stick. The Mercedes is going to try for the cutback as they head on to another straight part of the course. Let's see what Nascadasvili can do from the slipstream. We've seen him in this position so far, but we've seen what the Porsche can do through this corner when it's behind. Goodness only knows what it's going to do. Taking him from the front. In fact, he's that good on the brakes. He's almost overtaken that hypercar that's just gone past. That is Herman Frey up onto the podium. Oh, he's got 15 minutes left to go with 22% of his fuel tank though. That math just ain't quite mathing, I believe would be the relevant phrase there. Manuel Fuchs is very close to Delphant. These two have seen themselves drop down the order. Fuchs certainly more than Delphant. This would go from 1 position to lost, 1 and 3 positions lost to 2 positions each. If Fuchs can make this one stick, it's the Lambo versus the McLaren, and that is a very tight battle for the two of them to be dealing with at this stage of the race. Going to be some serious wear on the tyres as well. Some serious wear on the tyres. It does make the battles just a little bit more interesting, certainly from our point of view. Not sure the drivers would wholeheartedly agree. Very defensive line taken by the McLaren. The Lamborghini looking for the cutback on the exit. He's got a very good launch out at the first corner as they head down the hill into turn at number 2. It is still Delphant that's holding on to that position. Heavy on the brakes. Throw the car into the right, then left. Then left again. Then back to the right. Round we go. Delphant snaking his way through there. Just that bit better than Manuel Fuchs. And he does hold on to the position. Herman Frey still holding on to 2nd place. He's got 8/10 now. Back to Nascadasvili, so he's got himself a good old breakaway there Solid overtake. There is Tobias Grunwald, 7/10 of a second he is behind Erkan, and it does look like they are all going to safely make a no-stop strategy. 13 minutes left to go, and they've got a quarter of a tank of fuel, so they've got this one absolutely nailed on. I do think Herman Frey is going to struggle a bit to get it to the end. He might need to do a bit of fuel saving or a quick splash and dash. I would think the fuel saving is going to be less detrimental to making it to the end of the race than a trip into the pits are. But yeah, if I was a betting man, I would put folding money on him having to come in, or at least do something. He's got to do one or two: save fuel, or come in and take some more on. Lucas Cedar, I'm seeing, is getting close to Mitchie Hoyer. Hoyer up to 6th. But that's certainly coming under pressure at the moment. Cedar in the Cadillac, he's got himself only a half a second gap to make up to the car ahead of him for Fisher Racing. Very nice livery, so we'll stay on board here for a few laps. I don't think we can actually. My apologies, because Grunwald has got himself back within 2/10 of a second. 6, maybe 7 laps left to go. Oh, here we go through the traffic for them again. Certainly in this race so far has been Erkan that's managed to weave his way through better than anyone, better than Grunwald. Both making it past the Porsche very handily indeed. That, I believe, is Hofer, and yep, I was correct. He has just come out of the pits. Michael Herman Frey did have to come in for a splash and dash. And that's brought him back out in 13th position. So yeah, he wasn't quite equipped for a no-stopper in the Porsche. Panatone as well, he's out in the Porsche. He's managed to do it, and Corbinian Wendell as well for Fisher. He's managed to get his Porsche to the end, or it's looking like he's going to get to the end on a no-stop strategy. So he was quick in making his way through the field, but he was also making his way through the fuel as well. And Herman Frey drops back down to 13th as Tobias Grunwald not dropping a beat in this battle for the top spot. It's Arda Erkan that is ahead of him. And as we can see from the rear spoiler there, this is how close the two of them are. No real close battles. David Rancano, sorry, in the GT3s, but no real close battles in the top 5 in the GT3s at the moment. Lucas Cedar and Mitchie Hoyer still dueling it out for 6th position in the hypercars. As I mentioned, Rancano and Barto still battling away for 8th place in the GT3s. And I tell you what, this is going right down to the wire, and I think it is game on for Tobias Grunwald here. The medium tyre choice could be the undoing of Erkan, although if he didn't have the mediums, would he have had the pace to get the gap in the first place? He's trying to send it round the outside, and turn number 1 as they head down the hill. Even on the hard tyres, he's got the run, and he manages to squeeze it 3 wide. They go either side of the Iron Dames Porsche there, and everyone does survive. Joseph Koifel getting a front row seat to the changing of the guard at the top spot of the hypercars, and it is Tobias Grunwald, after 51 minutes of chasing, finds himself back on the top. Sorry, not quite 51 minutes. It was a couple of laps in before Erkan had taken the top spot, and he now finds himself back into 2nd. So the top 4 in the hypercars are all back to where they started the race, and the top 2 in the GT3s have maintained their position as well, and Grunwald already 6/10 of a second ahead. So Erkan, he took a gamble on the tyres, trying to get to a full race on the mediums, but as we can see, it certainly answers the question. Are you better to be on a worn set of mediums or a much less used set of hards? And it's the hards that are winning at the moment. Grunwald is peeling away from him. That gap now up to over a second. No messing about. Erkan definitely going to have the fuel. So too is Gamble. Gamble's done well to hold on to third place. Very nearly lost it after contact. But did survive. Sven Gielhood was the driver that's made the contact as well. Dropped down the field. He is closing back in. Oh, now if I say, yeah, that's maybe a preemptive call with 8 minutes left to go. That's another 4 laps they're going to get done. Sven Gielhood could be right back in the hunt here. Is he chasing down a last gas effort to get himself back onto the podium? It would be quite a move if he did. In fact, we've got a battle going on. Louis Bartot, as you can see, just up the road from the hypercars. He is keeping Joseph Koifel very close indeed. And that gap is now dropped to 1 second. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one for the points. Hopefully we get a look at them, get them updated. But certainly as it stands, Holman is going to strengthen his grip. He's going to strengthen his grip on the GT3s, the hypercars though. Grunwald is going to come charging through the field. No Ethan Faulkner, Marco Bischoff this evening. Alvarez is racing. In fact, Alvarez is out with the race. Tim Flake, I believe, is outside the top 10 as well. So there is going to be some big changes and some serious points turnaround. Louis Bartot finishing in 8th place. He's going to be behind Naskadashvili once again. So Naskadashvili is certainly going to be jumping up towards 2nd place, with Coinsel not racing this week. Koifel is of course racing, but he's in 7th place, so that's a 4-place difference. 4-place difference between Coinsel and Naskadashvili, so there's going to be a bit of turnaround there as well. Certainly that gap is going to very much close in, which is going to make it an interesting trip to Bahrain next week. That is going to be quite the course. We'll see which cars hold up there, but that is Cedar that we're on board with. Tobias Grunwald though, 28 laps in, and he has got the lead, and he has certainly got the pace. That's another 6/10 over Erkan behind him, and Sven Gielhood is looking to get himself back onto the podium. Now, I did mention the top 4 so far back where they all started. Well, they've run it so close on the fuel this week as well. I think Hoffer in the GT3s is going to have to come in before the end. He's not quite got enough. Oh, Tim Flake looking to fight back and get himself a few more points. Hasn't been able to get past Partey so far, but they've got a bit of traffic and more cars getting involved there, and he has indeed. Tim Flake, he's got the acceleration in Aston Martin late on in the race. Is he going to be able to hold the position into the braking zone? It looks like he's got this one done and dusted. Heavy on the brakes, gets a turn up the inside. They do go side by side. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there from Partey, and that has let Flake through, but Partey's come right back around the outside again. These two of them still going at it. Absolutely hammer and tong, and it is Partey who's retaking the position, but Flake's retaking the inside line. They're going to go for a drag race into turn number 16. Well, it's going to be Barty that comes out on top for the moment. Flake still well and truly in the hunt here, though. Now he's keeping him well and truly on his toes. You can see Ulrich just ahead of them. He will be eternally grateful that these two are battling so hard at the moment. No, it settles out of the last corner, and they are going to start their merry dance once again. So Tim Flake still chasing. Sven Gielhood still chasing as well. He's got about 2 laps left to go. Yeah, what have we got? 2 minutes 48 left. Right, yeah, we've got 2 laps left to go. And Gielhood's got 2 tenths separating him, and 1 Henrik Gamble from that podium position. Round we go once again. More BMW traffic to make their way past. Very nicely done. They're both on an absolute knife edge here. Low on fuel as well. But they're all going to make it to the end. Everyone now requesting pit stops as well. And a little bit of a wiggle there. Can't afford to do that too often. Gielhood will absolutely steal that position. Let's have a look and see. Right, so Grunwald flying through the S's. Gielhood just coming through turn number 1. So yeah, I think this is going to, yep, this is the final lap. Gielhood needs to get this position taken now if he's going to get it done. And I tell you, I say Manuel Fuchs has closed up on Nascadashvili. He's got this within 0.6 of a second, half a second. Oh, he's got himself some good slipstream out with turn number 1. Not quite enough with the exit that Nascadashvili got in the Mercedes, but he certainly, as mentioned, he's got that to within half a second. Louis Barto has got himself within a couple of tenths as well. Joseph Koifel finds himself with a blue flag car, and a Lamborghini trying to take his position as well. Does manage to hold on to the track position for the moment, but Barto will be knocking Grunwald. Let's see where he is. He's going to be coming to the end of his lap. Yeah, not always easiest to work out where they are on this track. Yeah, heavy on the brakes here, through the left-hander. Bang, around he comes. So yeah, we're coming towards the end of the lap. We've got 30 seconds left on the clock. And in fact, is he going to get another lap? I think he actually is, so there is another lap going to be played out. Aha, so Tobias Grunwald treating the rest of the drivers to a very close ending. Barto on Koifel, still potential. Fuchs on Nascadashvili, still potential. And of course Sven Gielhood here, definitely still potential here. It's the final podium spot that's up for grabs in the hypercar. The top 2 in both classes very much firmly decided. 3rd place though, still hanging in the balance, although as I say that, the difference between Fuchs and Nascadashvili has spread out to a second. So it looks like Nascadashvili could well hang on to this one. Can Gielhood find the chink in Henrik Gamble's armour before the end of the race? They've not got long left to go, as you can see, heading down the back straight into the big old corner complex, or the shorter of the 2 corner complexes. That's 3 seconds that he's got, but Gielhood, oh, now look how close he is. They've got a cheeky little Porsche there and give them both an extra little bit of slipstream temporarily, but it's all the slipstream the way of Gielhood. Is he going to go for this one? It is his last chance for romance, potentially. Not quite close enough. He pulled himself out with the slipstream, but couldn't punch his way through the air without that extra help. Oh, and they've made contact. Tim Flake and Mirak Partey have made contact. party left facing the wrong way as Tim Flay cracks on. Let's see where Grunwald is. He is going to take the checkered flag. It has been an absolutely solid display. Took pole position in qualifying and has not looked back, and there is the checkered flag. Arda Erkan takes second place. Will Henrik Gamble hang on to third. We will see. This is out in the last corner, and it looks like he's got this one absolutely signed, sealed and delivered. He has indeed. It's been a long race for both of them, but that is Gamble in third and Sven Gielhud in fourth position. And here comes our GT3 winner, a 5-second gap Hoban has on the rest of the field here through the last corner. And again, much like his Team Nitro teammate, he's led this one. He took pole position. He has led from lights to flag. He took pole position and brought home the fastest lap of the race and the race win, the Holy Trinity. There is Besser finishing in second. Naskidas Vili looking to hold on to third place from Manuel Fuchs. Fuchs has got it back to within 4/10 of a second as we come into the final corner. It is going to be too little too late though by the looks of it, as Naskidas Vili back-to-back podiums. That will see him improve his overall standings position after a couple of drivers ahead of him. Not here today. Manuel Fuchs has picked up a penalty and he's lost out to Delphant. So, and in fact, Fuchs is tumbling down the order. So he has picked himself up a big penalty. Delphant is in third. Wendell gets himself fifth place. Sorry, Delphant in fourth. My apologies. Delphant in fourth position. We'll get the full results. I think that is everyone back in. Oh no, a couple of... Yeah, no, they're all finished as well. But yeah, that was round number 6. And that was very much the Tobias Grunwald show, it has to be said. He has not messed about there in the slightest. And Team Nitro, I would say, are going to be very, very happy with this evening's results. It's worked out well. They've brought home, what is that, 4 of the podium positions. That's what I'm looking for. Everything closed at once. Yeah, so 4, as I say. 3. My goodness me, we're all over the place. 3 podium positions out of the 6. Which is not too shabby a showing at all. It was round number 6, of course, Circuit of the America. We'll get the full results up in a moment. Just a quick reminder though, we've got Bahrain next time out, so make sure you tune in for that. The drivers, €500 voucher from Moza. I've got a €750 voucher from Next Level Racing and a €1,250 voucher by Thrustmaster for our top 3 in each class in the series. So we'll see who it is going into this one. Yeah, Nicholas Hoban certainly putting a much firmer grip on the lead that he's got. Oops, in the championship. As I say, we'll get the results up in a moment or two. And in fact, I believe that is them up now. There we go, confirmation in the GT3s. Hoban in first, Besser in second, Naskidas Vili in third, Eric Delphant in fourth, Corbinian Wendell in fifth, Louis Barto in sixth, Joseph Koifel in sixth position, Manuel Fuchs in eighth with Valentino Aldericcio in ninth, Michael Herman Frey made it up to 10th position after that late penalty. Panettone and Rancano 11th and 12th, Pastrana in 13th place, Tobias Hofer finished in 14th position. Lamprecht in 15th. Fritz in 16th. Mikalik in 17th. And Wassner in 18th position. And in the hypercars, there we go. Confirmation, all-conquering Grunwald up at the top. Erkan and Gamble joining him on the podium. Gielhood in 4th, Hoyer in 5th, Siebel in 6th with Cedar in 7th place. Bachmeier making up 2 to finish ahead of Ulrich, who dropped 4 to finish in 9th. Tim Flake did get that position at the end to see himself up 1 into 10th. Merrick Partey in 11th position. Adrian Zay in 12th. George Barr in 13th. Lucas Bachmeier in 14th position, ahead of Glenn Stromer in 15th. Alvarez didn't finish the race, unfortunately. One of only 2 retirements across the event this evening. So a very good return for the drivers, and some good points scored there. Again, especially considering a few of the drivers not able to attend this evening, so it certainly made it a bit easier for the rivals. Oh, that's gone a bit loud. But yeah, what a race that was. It looks like the series standings are going to take a bit of time to update. And in fact, let me just check. Oh, and we do have some drivers in the casting booth, so let's grab them in. Let's get Tobias Grunwald in first. So there we go. It's not often we get them in for LMU, but joining us this evening, I've spoken to this driver many times up on the top spot of the podium, and he's here once again in the hypercars in round number 6. It is Tobias Grunwald flying once again, Tobias, but a bit of a battle on your hands with Erkan. How did you find this evening's race?
Yeah, hello, first of all. It was very fun, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, my first proper hypercar race in Pro Series, obviously, but I really enjoyed it. You know, I wasn't sure about the strategy, so I just went for the hard tires, and I think Arda went for the mediums, so I hoped his tires would die at the end, which exactly happened, so I just had to be patient and yeah, picked the right moment to make my move, and I got a bit lucky with traffic, and then yeah, I got past him and yeah, kept the lead basically till the end.
Yeah, it was an absolutely solid race. As you say, Arda was out on the mediums, and he did threaten to run away a bit. He got the gap out to about 2 seconds, but as you hoped and as you mentioned there, his tyres did drop off towards the end. So that battle, at what point did you realise you were going to catch up? I mean, was there any point in the race that you thought to yourself, oh, I maybe should have went for the medium tyres, or did the pace relative to the medium seem okay for you as we went through?
To be honest, right from the beginning, I thought this is his tires will die, so I just, you know, didn't fight at the beginning, let him by and just saved fuel. But then at the middle, or in the middle of the race, he was pretty quick still, so I thought, this could get quite tight at the end. But then I think at some point his tires just fell off a cliff, and I was like half a second quicker per lap, so I could just take it easy. And then I think with like 25 minutes or so to go in the race, I knew that it's just going to be a matter of time until I have a chance to pass him, and yeah, that was the case.
It certainly was, and I mean, your first race in a hypercar as well, the amount of talent you've got, Tobias, is absolutely disgusting. You really do need to share some with the rest of us. We've got Bahrain out next time. Are you joining us for that one, and any thoughts on that particular track?
Yeah, for sure I'm going to join, but same thing there. I've done a couple of races on Bahrain Outer, but I've never done Bahrain properly, so gonna have to learn it a little bit in the next couple of days. But yeah, really looking forward to it, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, nice. Well, I will certainly be looking forward to it myself, so I cannot wait to see what you and Team Nitro, 3 of the 6 podium spots going to Team Nitro, so congratulations to yourself and the team, Tobias, and best of luck for Bahrain next week.
Thank you.
There we go then. That was Tobias Grunwald, one of 3 drivers making their way onto the podium here in round number 6. Of course, his teammate taking pole position and the race win. Much like Tobias in the hypercars, it is one Nicholas Hoban, another driver I've had the pleasure of speaking to several times over. An absolute pleasure to have him in here once again, strengthening his grip on the GT3 Championship. Nicholas, that was a fairly not very eventful race for you this evening, but a solid win. How did it go for you tonight out there?
Yeah, it was interesting as always. Yeah, after last week's disappointment, it was a bit better this time. I struggled a bit in the beginning because the car's pretty heavy on fuel and behaves quite strange, but over the course of a season, I think it went quite well. And yeah, had small track limit issues, but apart from that, was all good.
Yeah, and it was a solid field. I mean, there was an absolutely incredible 4-5-way battle going on behind you for the rest of the podium positions. Obviously, that definitely helped as well, but the pace and consistency you had out there tonight were pretty incredible. I mean, at any point in the race, were you worried about the tyres or anything? Because medium tyres with ×2 tyre wear for an hour going to get a bit close towards the end of the race. So was there any concern or any thought at any point in time of maybe taking a pit stop, or were you confident they would make it the full length of the race?
No, it was pretty clear that we're gonna make it to the end, and just it's not worth it to go to the pit in just a 60-minute race, so you can't gain enough. So just hang on, try to not die, and keep it clean to the end.
Yeah, because Circuit of the Americas, or Circuit of the Track Limits as I unaffectionately call it, and a lot of drivers do, it's not the easiest place to get overtakes done. Obviously, you negated that by just taking the lead from the start, but certainly with the multi-class traffic, the hypercars, it can be quite interesting around the circuit like COTA. How did you find the blue flags with the hypercars this week?
Actually, surprisingly well. I only had one. Yeah, I wouldn't call it an incident, but where I was a bit confused how slow the other guy was. But apart from that, everything went perfectly fine. No issues at all.
Nice. And how are you looking forward to Bahrain next week? Your teammate Tobias saying he's not got much experience here. How are you for Bahrain?
I think I've only driven the circuit once in a GT3, so yeah, we will see. I don't know.
I was saying it to Tobias, the amount of talent that you drivers have got at Team Nitro, it is absolutely disturbing. You really do need to share some with the rest of us, Nicholas, I think. But yeah, congratulations tonight, and Team Nitro as well, taking 3 spots out of the 6 on the podium. So a good team haul. I think that puts you all firmly at the top. And I can confirm, actually, we've got the championship standings in. You have strengthened your grip. You've now got a 197-point lead at the top of the table. So not a bad place to be at the halfway mark, Nicholas.
Yeah, could be worse, but could be better. 2 races were a bit of a shame what happened, but yeah, still okay, I would say.
Yeah, well, it's certainly looking good. If you're going to be any place at the halfway mark, top of the table, it's not a bad spot to be, as you say. So, yeah, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on topping the table at the halfway mark, and we'll look forward to seeing what yourself and, of course, the team can do going forward for the second half of the season.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
Indeed, yep. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. There we go then, folks. Team Nitro's Nicholas Holborn, another of the team members, took pole position, took the race win, and took the fastest lap as well. Ain't no thing for these drivers. It is absolutely wild how quick they are. I believe we can get a look at the championship standings. Confirmed in the hypercars, it is still Erkan in the lead, ahead of Gilhood Chan in third, with Siebel in fourth, Ulrich fifth, and Faulkner in sixth position. Much further down the field, Henrik Gamble in 18th place. And of course, a race winner today, still well outside the top 20, hasn't done the whole season, but will be here till the end now. So the rest of the field absolutely on notice after that display, I would say. And as we saw in the GT3s, it was very much the Nicholas Holborn show, and as predicted, is David Nascadasvili, who has rocketed up the order. He's got himself up to second place ahead of Coinsall. So that is an absolutely phenomenal drive that he's had there. Koifel in fourth, Delfant in fifth, with Manuel Fuchs in sixth, Wendell Barto, Rancano and Michael Frey rounding out the top 10. It was very nearly another Frey on the top spot after that absolutely electric performance, but unfortunately brought to an end by the need for a pit stop. Oh yeah, another absolutely incredible race, round number 6. Thank you very much, Chris, for the raid. Welcome everyone in from the German channel. Hope you had as much fun watching that as we did. We'll be back next week, of course, for round number 7. That's going to be Bahrain. Next Tuesday, we're back for some more ACC as well, so make sure you get tuned in for that. Huge thank you to everyone that's been in the chat. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes on YouTube and all the follows on Twitch as well. If you do want to get yourself involved, get over to the Low Fuel Motorsport website. 288,000 drivers taking part across 6 sims. There is a race out there just for you, so get yourself involved. But that is all we've got time for this evening. We will be back again next week. Until then, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.